up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Dubai. I think this is season 1, episode 8 and 9. I could be wrong, but y'all know it'd be down below. But yeah, y'all, I just ain't feeling them no more. That's really what it is. Like when Dubai first premiered, I was excited because it's a new city. We got like a mixed cast, like a very diverse cast, and everybody. It didn't seem what's the word? It didn't seem forced. It seemed genuine. But now I'm just like, and like I tweeted today, the people that everybody is like living for, I'm not living for anymore. And the people that people don't see it for anymore, I still don't see it for them. But I'm seeing cracks in everybody. And I got a lot of questions. And I'm actually excited to see the reunion because I'm seeing things, but let's get into it. So y'all know before the review, sometimes if I have something to bring to you, I'm still working on names. Some of y'all have suggested like really cute names. I'm adding them to the list. I'm still trying to figure out who I want to go with, what name I want to go with. But two things, I'm going to post the articles below so you can read them yourself. But I don't really have time to do it the way I normally do it because I got somewhere to be in a few, hours, and like I got to do this faster, and y'all know I'm long-winded. The first thing is Phaedra. Phaedra is supposedly talking about she wants to be a part of the Real Housewives of Dubai. Girl, no. Like, it didn't hit when Phaedra came. Like, even though everyone was somewhat excited to see Phaedra, her being there did not add to the show. Like, the ratings didn't skyrocket up. It didn't do what I think she thought it was gonna do, and she really didn't like, what's the word? She didn't bring it the way I think she thinks she brought it. It was cute. It was a nice little cameo, but that's all it needs to be. Another thing is Sarah. I also put the article down there too. Sarah is saying that it seems like Ayan was trying to sabotage her cast. And I kind of believe her. And y'all know I don't really see it for Miss Sarah, but I kind of believe her. So Sarah did an interview with Page 6, and I'll link the article below as well, where she talked about how Ayan kind of like tainted her view of Brooks because Ayan would say things. So did Lisa. Lisa and Ayan would say things about how Brooks is. So she was like, Sarah had her guard up when she came around Brooks, and she said, had she not listened to them, maybe her and Brooks would have became friends a lot sooner. As well as she said, with the get-ups Ayan has been wearing, like the outfits, the avant-garde stuff, and the couture stuff, they were like, she would lie to them. Supposedly, Ayan would be like, oh no, like they would call each other and be like, oh, what you wearing? And Ayan would be like, oh, I'm just wearing something from like Zara, something really cute, chic, and simple. But then she would like surprise them, and that's why we always see them with the look of like, girl, because she would not tell them, like she would tell them she was wearing something else different and then come in what she has on, which we're going to talk about in the review. As well as supposedly the girls, Sarah and Nina, said they probably would have went harder on Ayan in their confessionals, but Ayan told them that she didn't want them to like really be coming for her because her son watched the show. So Sarah in this interview was like, if we do get a next season or another season, I'm going to be a lot more honest than what I was, because it seems like they kind of held true to their word and being like, oh, we're not going to talk about each other so harshly or so shadily in the confessionals because we agree with Ayan we wouldn't do that. And I kind of believe it. I don't know about the whole like shade thing about, not talking too much because of our kids, but I do believe the outfits, because certain outfits Ayan wears, it's like, why are we wearing this? It's cute. It's a moment, but why are we wearing this? But yeah, I'll link both articles. They're both from Page 6, and they're both interviews, one with Phaedra, one with Sarah. So let's get into this review. All right, y'all. So the episode opens up where it left off, where we got Brooks and Sarah still going at it. Now, I still stand beside that. I think Sarah is full of it because Sarah is playing semantics. You did tell that lady she needed to be more affectionate with her son. You just said she needs to be closer. You also were kind of condemning her parenting with the whole like change the generational cycle. And oftentimes, like, yes, people should be able to speak up if they see something that is wrong with a child, but clearly there's nothing too wrong with the way Brooke's parents. I just feel like Sarah oversteps and Brooks is allowed to make boundaries. Now, I do think the way Brooks handled this situation was out of pocket. Like, girl, you didn't need to be that drunk and you didn't need to be yelling at the lady. But I do agree with Brooks when she said, bring the real Sarah out, because I do think the Sarah that we're getting now is who Sarah wants everyone to perceive her to be. Because the thing about Sarah is, excuse me, this whole like I'm better, not bitter. I go to therapy because I don't want to be like her. That I get it, girl, but like I wouldn't want to be around you. Like I don't want to constantly be around my friend that's a walking IG post, like Lisa said. That gets old so quick, and you get tired of those people always being around. Like we just gonna have to call a spade a spade. You talk to that person, like Sarah would be the person like, yeah, you call her for encouragement and you bring her around to like events to support, but you don't really like give her deep seated information because she would be judging. And sometimes you just need someone to listen to you, not give you advice. And I've had to learn that. Because I'm a type of person that like I want to help fix things, and I've learned that I can't do that. Like sometimes somebody just wants to like someone wants you to just listen to them, not help them figure it out. Just listen, because maybe they already have it figured out and they just want you to hear it. So we then see some of the ladies, I think it was Lisa and Ayan, come over while they're arguing and being like, hey, they're feeding everybody. We then have this moment where Stansberry and Ayan are talking, and they're all talking about what Ayan has on. Honestly, I didn't think either outfit was cute. Ayan's wig didn't have a part to it, but she's supposed to be this fabulous person, but your wig is like down here and your forehead is up here. I didn't like the wig, as well as the outfit was okay, but it wasn't that great. Stansberry outfit wasn't any better. Like, I do agree with Lisa when Lisa was like, girl, if you were worried about someone showing you up, you should have came ready to dress to impress. And that's my thing. You and them ugly white cowboy boots, neither outfits were giving. And then for everyone to be like, oh, we thought she was Ayan. We thought Ayan was Stan Caroline. How? That's a full black woman. Me and Ayan are probably the same complexion. She might be a little bit darker than me, but ain't nobody gonna know. Like, I've worn blonde wigs. Y'all have seen me wear blonde wigs. No one suspects me to be no white lady. So out of this whole, like, she looked like a white woman from the back, and y'all didn't see the black arms? I was tired of that conversation. We then get this scene with Nina. Unfortunately, when they were all sitting down and eating, Nina got a phone call or a text message from her brother where they were like, your dad's going to the ICU. And I got worried. I was like, oh my God, is he going to die at the end of this episode? Like, I would hate for that to happen. Like, I was just like, oh, I hope he does not pass away at the end of this episode. I really hope he does not. And when Nina was like, what does that mean? I was like, girl, I feel like y'all have ICUs in Dubai. Intensive care unit. You already was saying he couldn't, like, he had tubes in his body. You know what's going on. But they end up leaving. I did like Caroline Stansberry's event. I thought the whole, like, engagement party was cute. The whole desert theme. I think that was nice. It was a nice thing. It was cute. It's I can give it that. So we didn't see Nina and her husband at their penthouse. They're building like a 3-story penthouse. It looks nice. I hope we get to see the end product, like I said about Caroline's house. Like, I want to see the end of Stansberry's house, just like I want to see the end of the finished product, of Stansberry's and Nina's home. Nina's house is supposed to be like a penthouse, supposed to be 3 levels. It was almost done, but then her husband was like, we need more lighting, we need this. So they ripped out the ceilings. It's stressing her out. One thing I did notice is like her husband had that circle thing on the back of his arm. So I think he's diabetic. So it makes sense why the virus probably hit him harder, because we already know people who already had like ailments before or chronic illnesses before getting sick, they got it worse because their immune system wasn't that strong to begin with to battle it. But I feel bad for Nina. She was like, I already was dealing with my husband. He's not even all the way at 100%, and now my daddy got it. And that's a lot. She was like, I just feel like I'm getting traumatized all over again. And she wants to be with her parents. And I was just like, why don't you go see them? Clearly, you and your husband have money, and I get it. You don't want to travel without your kids. But maybe this is just something you just have to suck it up and do. Like, I understand people, like, you know what? I'm not like, I don't understand. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm about to try to be politically correct. Your dad could potentially pass away. Like, we're not trying to play these games like this virus isn't real and it didn't take out a lot of people. I get you not wanting to be away from your kids, but it seems like Nina would regret it if her father would pass away if she didn't go see him. So this whole like, I can't travel without my kids thing doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, okay, they don't, like, y'all seem to have enough money. Like, y'all were just talking about $1 million, like almost $1 billion license plates. You have enough money to take a private jet to America, go see your daddy in Texas, take all the precautions you needed, come home, quarantine, take tests, and still be safe for your kids. So I don't know. Like, that's them life. That's their lady life and her husband's life. We then see it's Caroline and Sergio's wedding. The wedding actually was nice. I thought the decor was nice. My only thing was like, I wanted color. I guess they were going for an all white theme and hints of blush, because it did look like there was hints of pink. We see that Nina and Sarah went, but Brooks, Lisa, and Ayan were at Ayan's the fashion show for the 50th celebration for the UA. So that's where she was at. Where the other two ladies were at. I thought the wedding was nice. Sergio was crying. You know, I really do think Sergio loves Caroline. I know we all think Sergio is one of the kids, as well as he's scamming, but maybe they just have an unconventional relationships. And we're all talking about, like, we're trying to be an open-minded society now. Their relationship could really work. He seems to really love her. Until I see anything different. I mean, I did feel like at the beginning he was just her good Judy. But he does seem to really care for her. And maybe they have an understanding. Who knows? But yeah, she looked beautiful. I think Caroline's best dress was the reception dress. It was plain, but it was very like clean and classic. The wedding dress she walked down the aisle for me, I was just like, I ain't like that. This just do nothing for me. But we see the other three girls. We see Lisa, Brooks, and Ayan at the fashion show. They're talking about Black Girl Magic. Ayan was happy that they supported her instead of going to Caroline's, what's it called? Caroline's wedding. My thing is, I know y'all want them to be friends. I know y'all want Ayan, Brooks, and Lisa to be friends, and they be the black girls against the other girls. But it's never going to be that. And I need y'all to realize that, because honestly, if I was Brooks, I probably wouldn't be cool with Ayan or Lisa. Only because it seems like Ayan and Lisa don't really like Brooks. They constantly bring up how messy she is, how petty she is, how she ain't really got it like them in a sense, as well as it's like she would always be third wheeling with Ayan and Lisa. Like, Ayan and Lisa are best friends, and nothing wrong with them being like this tight with each other, like this tight. It's okay for them to be that cool with each other. But it's like, y'all want someone to just be a third wheel so y'all can have this black girl magic against the other girls. And that's also not how a cast should go. Like, there should be some type of friendship amongst all of the ladies. So trying to pit them against each other, to me, is tired. But yeah, and already, I'll like, if you don't know, it seems like Lisa and Ayan don't really even like Brooks in real life like that. Because I watched a video on Kim Pyre's channel, and y'all should check him out, where Ayan and Lisa did a ET Online interview where they basically said they're the reason Brooks is on the show, and had Brooks not being affiliated with them, she wouldn't be a part of this. she wouldn't, because I guess the network wasn't really seeing it for her, as well as they feel like the other four women are trying to like kick them off the show or isolate them. But I'm kind of like, it seems like y'all are trying to isolate yourselves, and y'all love the whole like Chanel and Lisa against the other girls. That's what I'm seeing. Cause like I told y'all in the introduction, I'm seeing things like the people y'all living for have some with them, and the people we not living for still have with them, but all together I have questions, and I see things from everybody. Real talk. But it was a nice moment. The three of them were talking about how Brooks feels that she was really being judged by Sarah, and she wants to talk to Sarah, but she also wants to apologize to Nina because she knew she crossed the line with Nina, but she doesn't feel bad that she spoke up when she felt like she was being offended and things of that nature. So then we have this sit down where it is Lisa, Ayan, Sergio, Caroline Stansberry, and two of the ladies from Ladies of London. I don't remember their names, but when I saw their faces, I was like, oh, so they really are still friends with her. That's cute. That's cute. But they had the conversation about the kids again. You know, they asked about like, and the gay guy, that was there, the British guy, he was on Ladies of London too. I remember him too. I think he was Caroline's like best friend and also like business partner. I think he was her business partner. But like when I saw them, I got happy because I was like, oh, they are still friends. That's cool. And I'm happy because oftentimes I hate when people are not on shows anymore and they don't hang out with each other, because I'm like, y'all really like shared y'all lives together with the world. I would think y'all would still be cool with one another. But like I said, they got on the kids thing again, and I was with Lisa. I thought it was shady though, but Lisa looked good in the confession. This like pink outfit, this hot pink outfit was cute. It was cute. I was like, okay, Lisa. But basically, Lisa was like, she doesn't think it's fair that Sergio wants Caroline to put herself at risk for having a baby, as well as she doesn't think Caroline should have another kid because she's so busy and she don't see the kids she got already. And I said, Lisa, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you don't make digs at people's parenting, because they're going to start making digs at yours. So, tread lightly. But I agree with Lisa. Like, don't force anybody to have kids if they don't want to. They also talk about how surrogacy is illegal in Dubai because technically you're not supposed to be having kids unless you're married. Excuse me, that's like a no-go in Dubai. So it was like you can't really do that. So they're still trying to mosey over the idea of having kids. I think they're going to end up not having kids because it really doesn't seem like Caroline wants to have children, and she shouldn't have kids if she doesn't want to. Plus, she's also 45. Like, Sergio, you got with a 45-year-old. You knew what it was. Just like, yeah, you knew what it was. It's just like, it's crazy because it's normally the reverse, where it's like the younger, like, not the reverse, but we normally see it with different genders, like where it's the woman wanting to have kids and the man that she marries is like, bro, I'm old, I don't want kids. That's normally what it is. And I normally side with the man, and I look at the women like, why would you get with somebody who's like almost going off the glory, and you want kids with them? Like, do you want to be alone? Because like by the time your child get a certain age, they gonna be in the dirt. And so I'm just kind of like, I'm with like everybody else. She shouldn't be having kids if she really doesn't want them, as well as she's putting herself at risk. And he's 27. Like, if you really wanted to be with a lady that old, you should have known what it was. Like, if you wanted kids that bad, you should have got with somebody who was 27 or in their 30s or in their 20s as well. So let it go. Let it go. Let it go, Sergio. So then we have this moment with and it ends this is when the episode ends for this episode, and I'll put it above, but we actually see Brooks with her mom, and she tells us that her mom visits every twice a year or something like that, or 3 times a year. But we get a little bit more backstory about Brooks's like upbringing and her family, like where her mom or her grandmother immigrated to Honduras, and then she was raised Honduras even though they're Jamaican descent. So that's why Brooke says she is Afro-Cuban, Afro-Latina, because she's like, bro, like, I'm Jamaican, but I was raised Honduras because that is where my family originates from, which makes sense. It makes sense. So she talks to her mom. They're looking at pictures, and we kind of get more about why Brooks is the way that she is. She married her husband, I think his name is like Azari, something like that, when she was 21 and he was a lot older. She met him when she was in New York for an internship. She said he was a smooth talker. She fell in love. They got married, and then he whisked her away to Dubai. And she said she stayed in that marriage, but her husband was very angry, and she knew it wasn't going to get better the longer she stayed. So that is why she got a divorce. And she said when she got a divorce, she left with nothing but her child. So that is why it's a trigger when people try to tell her like how she should parent or try to bring up her son in the way of like maybe she's not doing the best by him, because she's like, he is her world. Like she was like, I left because of him, and Adam, her son, was her willpower for moving along in life and trying to make it better and moving forward. So I get that. I was glad her mom told her like she owes Sarah an apology, because she was like, you got drunk and got braved and lashed out, and you got to stop that. And Brooks is like, brave? Girl, no, never that. But I was inebriated. But she says she does go from 0 to 100, and she does need to talk to Sarah and possibly like apologize, because she knows she took it too far. And that was the end of the episode. She was crying. She said she realized that certain things that she thought she was over, she's really not over, and she needs to get better at it. So yeah. So let's go on to the next episode. All right, y'all. So the episode opens up and we see a sit down with Sarah and Ayan. Ayan has on this purple ashy bob wig, and then this white dress with this huge white jacket that has a luxurious long train. And she made a comment where she was like, now if I would have worn this at Caroline Stanbury's engagement party, then she could have said something to that effect. But she looked good. But this does make me believe, and even when they went to the souk, Ayan be wearing these outfits to get reactions out of the ladies and to like, what's the word? Have a moment. Like they were saying, like I said in like the little part where I talk about the drama and stuff, where Sarah alluded in that interview where she was like, we would ask her like, like, girl, what you wearing? Like, what we normally do as girlfriends, like, you don't want to be the odd one out. And they were like, Ayan would lie to them and tell them like, oh, I'm just wearing this, this, and this. And then she would pop up in one of those outfits that she rented. Because I don't believe Ayan owns any of the outfits she has. I'm sorry, y'all. I know that's y'all girl, but I really don't believe she owns any of those outfits, because when we see her apartment, and that's another thing, someone brought that up. We've seen where everybody has lived except Ayan. We've seen Lisa's home, Brooks's home, what's her name? Sarah's, Nina's, Caroline's, Stanbury. We've only seen glimpses of where Ayan has like lives, and it's an apartment, and it doesn't seem like one of the luxurious apartments. It seems like, an average apartment. So it's kind of like, I don't really believe she has it the way we think she has it, in my opinion. But they have a conversation. They talk about how, well, I'll give Ayan that. She basically told Sarah, like, girl, you too preachy and it comes off judgmental. You might not be trying to be that way, but it comes off that way. And I think that's what really set Brooks off. So I think if y'all have a conversation, y'all will be able to like really, come to some type of understanding or some resolution. And then she also talks to Sarah and says, I don't really know you. So like, who's the real Sarah? So Sarah lets us in on the fact that like at the age of like 14, she saw her aunt go through like a really bitter divorce and saw kind of how the family kind of pushed her to the side. And she was just like, I'll never like depend on a man for nothing. After seeing that, and she said she got married when she was like 27. She was the breadwinner and everything, and it just wasn't good. So she divorced that guy. Then she said everybody after that, she was just like trying to find people that needed her or trying to fix something in them, that it ended up doing more harm than good to her. So she was like, that's why she's in therapy, trying to be better. And she was like, she doesn't mind talking to Brooks, but she was like, all that rah-rah, I'm not doing. I'm not doing. So then we have a scene where we see Brooks and her husband Zarin. I think I called him Zarin. Zarin meet up, and like I looked at them, I said, "Who is this white man?" I was like, "Is he? I guess he's Russian or Serbian." Because I was of the belief that man was like from Dubai. That's why they came to Dubai. But he gives very much like Russian mobster. I looked at it, I said, oh my goodness. But she said they met when she said when she was 21. She was like, she feel like that man put juju on her, because she was like, I look back at it now and I'm just like, how? And she tells him, she was just like, I was the perfect wife. I was everything for you. And you were just unhappy. And she was just like, the Zarin I see now is a lot calmer, a lot nicer. Like, why weren't you this way when we were married? And he was just like, honestly, mentally, I was just not there. Because he also says, you were no Mother Teresa either. And she said, I know I wasn't, but I wasn't that bad. And he was just like, mentally, I wasn't there, as well as like, he just he shouldn't have been married. It sounded like it. Because I should have put subtitles on because I was doing other stuff while I was watching the episode. But it just seems like Zarin had a lot of stuff going on with Zarin, and he just wasn't there. And he took out his frustrations and his angers on her. But he kind of apologized for it. Kind of saying like she ain't really do nothing really for him to be that mad at her. But it is what it is. We find out again he's doing her developing for her spa and stuff like that. He's the best in Dubai. We then find out that what's her name? Lisa's having a dance hall party and invites all the ladies. We then see the women go to the souk, or the golden souk, basically like the market area for gold. And like Sarah's dressed like supposedly like a Russian woman who doesn't have any money. Nina's just an average chick, and then you got Ayan in like a couture dressed like Sarah said, we don't look like we go together at all. But it was cute. Like, they bargained. They got like some jewelry that I think was supposed to be like $900 for like $250. And it was cute. It was a cute moment. I mean, that's one thing I like about Dubai is when the show shares history about the area, and seeing all the different jewelry, like the tiaras, the crowns, the necklaces, the whatever. It's just like they said, it seems like they like Sarah said, she's met other gold souks or been to others gold souks or whatever. They just don't compare to Dubai. And I could tell, because I was like, a lot of this stuff I wouldn't wear, but it's cool. It looks like it should be in a museum. It really does. So we find out that Ayan's made plans for them to go eat Ethiopian food. The food looked good. And she invited Brooks. So Sarah's just like, I want to be cool with Brooks, but I can't do all that yelling. Like, I'm not going to be doing all of that with her. And Ayan was just like, just be open-minded. It might go better than it did. It didn't. Brooks came in there on 12. On 12. And Sarah and her were going back and forth. They were really going tit for tat. Like, Brooks was just like saying like, you're not gonna feed me BS, because she feels like Sarah is lying and trying to like, what's the word, trying to like shift the narrative or like make up her own story, because she's just like, that's not what happened. That's what she was like, that's not how it went. That's not what happened. Like, no. Like, you did this, and this. Sarah's like, girl, I didn't do that. They're calling each other. They're telling each other to shut the F up. Sarah stands up. Is like, you're not going to talk to me like that. You're not going to tell me to shut up. And, like, Nina and Ayan trying to, like, calm everything down. Brooks is getting mad at Ayan because she was like, you told me that the girl was judgmental and I should speak my mind. And Ayan is like, yes, I'm telling you, you should speak your mind. But I've talked to her and I told her, like, I did tell her she was judgmental. I did tell her this, and this. But like, we came to an understanding. I'm trying to help you come to an understanding. And she was just like, no. Like, Brooks just came in there too hot. Like it was just like, okay, I think Brooks just wanted Sarah to apologize and just accept the fact that she hurt her feelings. And Sarah's whole thing is like, I didn't do that on purpose. And like, you're trying to put words in my mouth. And Sarah doesn't really want to say sorry because she was like, that's not where I was coming from. So they couldn't get to anything because Sarah walked out because Brooks said, shut up. And then Sarah stood up and said, what'd you say to me? And she was like, and then Brooks stood up and was like, what you gonna do about it? And then Sarah's like, I'm out. And then they were calling her effing psycho and calling her a stupid bee. It was a mess. And then Brooks left, and I felt bad for Ayan because Ayan was like, don't leave me with all this food because the food looked good. And the server looked like, oh my God, what is this? And they just left. They just left her with the food. The food looked good to me. So we then see the ladies doing like, I guess, preparing for the dance hall. Lisa invited everyone to like learn a few moves. It was cute. They had like teams where it was like Ayan, Chanel, and Sarah. Sarah on one team, and then Brooks. Ayan, Chanel. I keep getting that lady's name messed up because it's two names. Chanel, Brooks, and Sarah were on one team, and then Lisa, Stansberry, and Nina were on one team, and they were like battling it out. And then we had a moment when they were at dance rehearsal where Brooks pulled Sarah aside and she apologized. She says, I'm hypersensitive when it comes to my son. Like, he's a trigger and I'm realizing that and I need to be better. And then Sarah saying, like, look, if you ever need somebody to talk to or a shoulder to cry on, I'm here for you. Like, I really am here for you. And they deaded it. The dance hall thing was cute. I know a few people was a little upset that Sarah had on an afro because I was like, Sarah, no. But I think for us, culturally, it's different over here than what it is over there because none of the black girls had an issue with it. So maybe it hits different over there because I know over here, we be like, girl, you trying to make a caricature of us and our people. But maybe, over there, it's probably different. Like, racism doesn't hit the same, I don't know. I mean, I was just like, why the wig when you could have just did the hair? But I mean, at least Stansberry didn't put it on. She got enough sense not to do no mess like that. And so does Nina. So that's why I said Sarah be Sarah sometimes. I see you, Sarah. But yeah, that was the end of the episode. And it looks like they're going on vacation next episode. That's it, y'all. I mean, I don't know, y'all. Dubai just ain't hitting the way I thought it was going to hit for me. And I think, like I said, they already filmed the reunion. I think the reunion is going to be interesting. But I did see something online where someone was like, the Dubai girls are too reactionary online, but not reactionary enough on the show. And I believe that because on Twitter, they be going back and forth, but on the show, it's not that. So it's like that energy, y'all not doing the same. The energy is not, what's the word? It's not reciprocated, but it's not translating. Like, I don't think they understand, like, what y'all do on Twitter does not translate to the show. That does nothing for ratings. It doesn't hit the same, I guess, you got to bring it on and off the show, pretty much. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and drop down in them comments below. Deuces.